In this video, I'm going to explain the proper way to test an ion pumping cord to make sure that it's functioning properly. Now, an ion pumping cord is really a simple device. It's a wire, it's got a clip on either end, they're color-coded to show the polarity, and then there's this black area in the center here. Underneath the heat shrink tubing, there's a germanium diode, which allows current to only flow in one direction. So the point of testing the ion pumping cord is twofold. First, you want to make sure that the current is flowing in the correct direction from black to red. And you want to make sure that it is blocked in trying to flow the opposite direction. That would be from red to black. If both of those functions are intact, then you have a properly working ion pumping cord. If one of those functions isn't working, then the cord needs to be replaced. So we'll start by testing with this multimeter. There are several different ways to test, and I'm going to outline several of them. The multimeter is not necessarily the easiest, but if it's what you have on hand, here's what to do. A couple of different approaches. First, you can use the diode check mode on your multimeter. It's got the little diode symbol. And so for checking on the diode check mode, and there's the diode symbol. It's got the triangle and the line. When I hook this up, if I hook the red to red, and I hook the black to black, you can see there's no conductivity happening at all. Versus if I just touch the two leads together like this, you see I get a 0 reading, voltage drop, and you see I get tone to show me that I've got full conductivity. Now if I hook this up in the direction that it prefers, and in this case it's going to be opposite the coloring because of how the multimeter is set up, you see that I do get a flow. There's a little bit of a voltage drop, but you see that it's definitely making a connection. Whereas in the opposite direction, it's not making a connection. I still just get a 0. And so that's a good cord. The fact that I do get a flow with a very minimal voltage drop in one direction and I get no flow in the other direction, that's one way to show that I've got a good ion pumping cord. Now, if you don't have the diode check mode on your multimeter, another thing you can do is simply use the resistance check mode. So you set it for the little horseshoe, the upside down horseshoe, that means ohms. And now I'm going to check using this ohm meter. So again, when I set it up in one direction, it's going to tell me the resistance. And in this case, the resistance shows about almost 400,000 ohms, a little over 400,000 ohms. If I set it up in the other direction, I have resistance of about 6,000 ohms. So 400,000 going one way, 6,000 going the other way. That shows me that there's very high resistance in one direction, it's blocking in one direction, and it's allowing flow in the other direction with very low resistance. And so the difference in the resistance in the two directions shows me that I have a good ion pumping cord. You have to test both directions or you don't know if you have a good cord. If you only test one direction and you're only looking for continuity, that may not tell you everything you need to know. Because if I test in the wrong direction and there's no continuity, I could assume I have a bad cord when actually it's doing exactly what it should, and that is block flow in one direction. So now that we've covered how to test with a multimeter, let's talk about how to test with an ion cord tester. This is by far the easiest way to do this. So I'll make a little room here. I'll put the ion cord tester here. The ion cord tester is a really simple device. It's got a battery connector. In this case, I put a 9-volt battery on it. I could just as easily put a couple of AA batteries in here. Either way, it will work. You can have one or the other. It doesn't matter, just so you've got a battery somewhere. So I've got the 9-volt battery on there. And you can see there's a red and a black lead right here on the cord tester. And so testing is a very simple procedure. All you do is connect the red to the red and the black to the black. I'm just going to touch them on there. And when you do that, you can see that the light lights up. Now, if I switch them to the opposite direction to check counterflow in the opposite direction, and so I touch the black to the red and the red to the black, the light does not light up. There is no flow in the opposite direction. So again, this shows that I've got a good cord here. It's flowing properly in one direction, it's blocking properly in the other direction, and so my cord is good and it's ready to go. If you're using ion pumping cords in practice, I recommend that you test them, probably once a month, just to make sure that they're still working properly, that the germanium diode is blocking the flow in the way it should, and that there's no problem with the connection. Also, if you damage a cord, you trip over it, something happens, and you just want peace of mind to know that it wasn't damaged, it's a good idea to always check. If you have a little cord tester, you can see that checking literally takes just a couple seconds. You grab your cord tester, you touch it again, and you're done. Good cord.